about another flu pandemic happening. It's not a matter of if, but when.
The Netflix docuseries Pandemic features the San Francisco company Distributed Bio for its work in developing a flu vaccine. The show was released on January 22nd. A week later, Distributed Bio CEO and computational immunoengineer Jacob Glanville found himself drawing up plans to take on a new foe, COVID-19.
I found these 5 anti-SARS antibodies from almost 20 years ago. People had spent years of research on these things. These are really potent neutralizing antibodies against SARS. They block SARS virus from infecting human cells. If you gave them to a mouse, the mouse wouldn't get SARS. I think that because SARS is a cousin of the novel coronavirus, we could mutate these to adapt them, and we could basically piggyback on 2 years of medical research on those antibodies. And let's try all 5.
Distributed Bio engineered those antibodies to bind and block the spikes of the coronavirus. It sent samples to 3 independent labs, including one at Stanford University. All 3 reported back the same result: ultra-potent neutralization of the virus. As opposed to a vaccine, Distributed Bio hopes what they create, a therapeutic, can be used to treat infected patients.
It takes too long for a vaccine to be useful for a patient. If you're already sick, you don't have 4 weeks to generate antibodies. So with an antibody therapy, you're skipping that whole process of waiting for your body to produce the antibodies. We're engineering it in a tube. So now the syringe has the antibodies directly. I inject it into you, and you instantly sort of went through a 4-week time machine. Instead of a vaccine, you're immediately being protected with those antibodies.
Glanville says it's possible the antibodies could be given to healthcare workers to provide about 8 weeks of protection. He also says it's important the therapeutic be manufactured around the world and be made affordable.
The whole world needs to be able to use it. The whole world is infected, and you can't just treat one area of the world. So if only one nation has access to medicine, the world will keep reinfecting that nation and itself. So everyone needs to have access. It needs to be globally available. And that part of that is it needs to be pretty affordable. If the medicine is as expensive as antibody therapies usually are, they're usually like $8,000 or $9,000 a dose, then that is not actually going to solve the crisis.
Distributed Bio has already sent its antibodies to 2 independent labs to be tested on hamsters. They're awaiting those results. If all goes well, human trials could be a short time away. Glanville has a goal of manufacturing in September, but he admits that could be tight. But he says these are times when you aim for tight goals and push like hell to see what works. Mark New, CGTN, Sunnyvale, California.